Right? Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutation to the men of the Ophel and Saint Elect. This is your brother Marcus out here in Trinidad. Just wouldn't do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be Somewhat Jew. Right? Somewhat Jew. And the reason I'm doing this lesson is because of those people over there in the east, in the land of Israel, calling themselves Jewish, all right, and claiming to be the Lord's chosen, the people of the book. And the reason why I'm calling them somewhat Jew is because as the scripture, like even Paul said it in the Jews' religion, he prospered in the Jews' religion, all right, which is keeping the commandments of the Lord and the customs, of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. So because you keeping some of the customs, you might be adhering to some of the laws, you somewhat of a Jew. And I'm going to show you even more reasons why I said somewhat, why the name of the lesson is Somewhat Jew. All right, but you are not the people of the Most High. Hence the reason you will call yourself Jewish. All right. Revelation 2:9, it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. All right. You call yourself the Lord's chosen people, but you are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. All right. And I remember years ago, could be like 2012, all right, there was this guy, the so-called Jew, or this Jewish guy that did, I think it was a 1-hour documentary. And in this documentary, he was stating that, him and his people are not the chosen people of the Most High, and they are the synagogue of Satan. They are Satan's children. And I believe within 4 months, they found him dead. And the information that he brought out is so true. They are not the chosen people of the Most High. Just like in 13 Tribe, Arthur Koestler. In that same book, he wrote, about the history of the you Edomites, which call yourself Jews, all right, that claim to be the chosen people of the Most High. All you're trying to do is try to get back your birthright, but it was never intended for you to begin with. The Lord just made Esau come first just to build the drama, just so that in this last day that he could use. Hence the reason he said, for this reason have I raised thee up. He caused that hatred to brew from since the ancient time, all right, from Isaac, all right, making those two children, all right, with Rebecca, the elder, coming out first, who was by right supposed to get the birthright and the blessing, all right, but it was given to the younger. Hence the reason his name is Jacob, which Yaquab, which means supplanter, and his mother's name is Rebecca or Rabaka, which actually means ensnarer. All right, so they both ensnared Esau and supplanted him. And it was all set up by the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. And from since then, that ancient hatred been brewing for this last time. As the scripture says, for the hatred against thy brother shame shall cover thee. The Lord raised Esau up just to bring him down with a great destruction. All right. So in these last days, they're saying that they are the chosen people of the Most High, that they are the true Israelites, when in fact they are not. All right. They are not. All right. And I want to just read some here. When you go to, the suffix ish generally indicates something in approximate, similar to, or has a quality to a small extent. So you have a quality to a small extent simply because you want to keep the commandments and you want to keep the customs, the feast days, to a small extent. And that's it. All right. It says reddish, something that is somewhat red, but not exactly red. Jewish, someone that is somewhat of a Jew. Because when you go down here, it says ish in the dictionary. It says to some extent. All right. To some extent. To some extent, you are so-called a Jew. Because why? Because you keep the commandments. All right, to a point. You keep the feast days to a point. That is why you could call yourself Jewish. But to say that you are the chosen people of the Most High, you are not. You either are or you are not. Just like Antiochus Epiphanes, he wanted to be a Jew. Did that mean he was gonna be an Israelite? No, just keeping the customs. Keeping the customs, that is it. So they looked in the ancient time, they looked as being a Jew as a religion. All right. So when you call yourself Jewish, it's not because you are the chosen people. You just look at being a Jew as being like a religion, just like Christians. All right. You look at you like you look at being a Christian as a religion. It's the same thing with being a Jew. Just you look at it as a religion when it is not. All right. Is by the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you did not come through that straight lineage. Yes, you came through Abraham and Isaac, but not through Jacob. All right. Who came? The 12 patriarchs. All right. So you are somewhat Jew only because you keep in the customs to some point, but you are not the chosen people of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, and verse 14. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai against all my evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land, and I will pluck the house of Judah from among them." So yeah, we this day in our enemy's land, and they in our land right now. All right, they calling themselves Israel, they calling themselves Jews. That's why they say Israeli and Jewish. They don't call themselves Israelite or the Jews. All right, because they know the truth. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai not allowing them to take on that full identity. And if you really look into the names, there's always a reason behind something. Things don't just happen for no reason at our whims. There's always a spiritual meaning behind it. Hence the reason they call themselves Israeli and not Israelite, and Jewish and not Jew. All right. So the end in land, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai say coming to pluck them out. And how he destroying them? By the spirit of his tongue, through the prophets, beginning with the apostles all the way down, revealing that wicked. Then that wicked shall be revealed. That is what the scripture says. Who the Lord shall destroy with the spirit of his tongue and the brightness of his coming. Esau gonna be destroyed when the Lord comes. All right. So you are not the chosen people of the Most High. All right. You only take on the identity of an Israelite, but you are not. All right. By nationality, you are not. 2 Kings 17 and 24. It says, "And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cuthah, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria, and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was in the beginning of their dwelling that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh Hashem Yahushai sent lions among them, which slew some of them." It says, "Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, The nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he had sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of that land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, Carry thither one of the priests whom he brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the God of that land. Then one priest, whom they had carried away from Samaria, came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord." All right, and these are the Hamites. All right, that's like you see in these modern times, they might call themselves Falasha Jew. All right, some might say the word Falasha means false. They don't mean false, it just mean wandering. All right, they would call themselves Jew because they grew up with that custom, reading from the scriptures and identifying themselves as that people. So even they themselves are Jewish because they keep the customs. You could say they are Jew to some point only because of what? As Paul said, the Jews' religion. But are you of the seed of Israel? You are not. This is John 4 and 20, because this is an end result in Yahushua's modern day, the end result of what took place in 2 Kings 17. All right, roughly, let me say, 600 years before Yahushua. All right, so over 600 years of indoctrination, these people started believing that they are the children of the book. They are the chosen people. All right, it says, our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahushua said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Why? Because you are not an Israelite. It says, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, not Jewish. All right? It says, but the hour cometh, and is now, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The true worshippers. All right? You are not the true worshippers. Jewish, Israeli, guess what? You are not the true people of the Most High. That is why you call yourself Jewish. Ish means somewhat like. Only because, and I'll read this. Let me read this real quick. All right? This is going back to how you Edomites converted in the beginning to the Israelite doctrine. It says, while the historical figure Simon Maccabeus played a crucial role in establishing the Hasmonean dynasty and expanding Jewish territory, it was his son John Hyrcanus, who conquered and forcibly converted the Idumeans, descendants of Esau Edom, through Judaism. All right? It says Jewish law traditionally opposed conversion according to Jewish history. All right? So, it says Simon Maccabeus. Oh, let me go to John Hyrcanus. It says, John Hyrcanus, Simon's son, expanded Jewish territory, further including the conquest of Idumea. He forcibly converted the Idumeans through Judaism. So you people coming down believing that you are an Israelite, and generations down the road, you're going to call yourself Israelite. You're going to say you are the chosen people because that is what you've been indoctrinated. But now in these last days, the Lord put his spirit on us, beginning with the apostles, to come and clarify that error, that you are not. You are the synagogue of Satan. All right? You are not the Lord's chosen people. You are not of the house of Israel. You are the synagogue of Satan. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai revealing it before all to see who are the true Israelites, who are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And if you can't see it because the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai forbidding you from seeing it because it's so plain. The Bible speaks about it. History backs up the scriptures, shows that who the people are. All right? Nature knows no color line, Valley of Dry Bones, history of the Native Americans, and so much more. Shows who the chosen people are. All right? Shows who the chosen people are. But guess what? It's only for the elect to see. And in that day, going to be revealed to what the Lord shows. That is why he said, then shall it be known who am I chosen. It being known right now, but the whole world pursuing to Isaiah 40 and 5, going to see the Lord's salvation. All right? So with that, I hope it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and give double honor to the apostles of great mercy who do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. This is your brother Marcus out in Trinidad saying Shalom and stay strong. Shalom.